On February 12, 2026, Yakuza Kiwami 3 was released with a manufacturer's suggested retail price of $59.99. So, I did what anybody without a job would do. I spent $10 on Yakuza 3 Remastered, and played it all through the weekend, getting it finished by February 15th. Since it was so fresh on my mind though, I decided to check out the demo that they released for Yakuza Kiwami 3 to see if it would be apparent just how different this remake was to the original. I played through the same segment of the game in both versions, so let's take a look at them side by side. The demo for Yakuza Kiwami 3 begins partway through Chapter 2 of Yakuza 3. Take a look.
Uncle Kaz, they haven't stopped. We got another eviction notice. I guess we might really have to leave after all. Those guys have been coming around a lot more often too. They're starting to make the other kids nervous.
We'll go see what's up.
Okay. As you can see, this opening scene shows off one of the major changes made in Kiwami 3, and one that has some OG Yakuza fans upset. The English dub.
Well? Nice sync. That a snake?
Oh, and the completely different Rikia. That's a sore spot for since Tatsuya Fujiwara, the original Japanese voice actor for Rikia, was recast with Sho Kasamatsu, RGG Studio decided to also change Rikia's look, modeling his face after Kasamatsu. And Rikia isn't the only one that's been recast, as you may have heard, but he is the only one that we met in this demo. As you can see, some of these scenes are one-to-one recreations, whereas some have been altered, whether that be just different dialogue, things happening in a different order, or, in the case of how this demo ends, changed completely. After you beat up Rikia, he agrees to take you to see the head of the Ryudo family, Shigeru Nakahara. The two of you head over to Kariushi Arcade, and this is where things change. In Yakuza 3, Kiryu and Rikia are stopped a few times by different citizens, all of whom have a personal relationship with Rikia, which really highlights the Ryudo family as not only there to be protection, but actually being part of the community, with a vested interest in the people and their success and happiness. After a few of these interactions, the two end up at the Ryudo family office, Kiryu speaks with Nakahara, and the chapter ends. In Kiwami 3, shortly after the two enter the shopping area, they're stopped by a panicked citizen who tells Rikia about the Tamashiro family, a rival clan causing chaos in the market, demanding protection fees from the people, essentially trying to take over the Ryudo family's turf. The Tamashiro family has wrecked the market and abducted the head of it, holding him hostage by knife point to demand the protection fees. Since it's Ryudo family turf business, Rikia tells Kiryu to stay out of it, but let's be honest, that would make for a boring game. Kiryu finds a reason to join the fight, the two of them take out the members of the Tamashiro family, and Rikia is awed by the fact that Kiryu would involve himself in the fight even though he had no stakes in it. The demo ends with Rikia bowing to Kiryu and the two of them heading off to meet with Nakahara. Instead of feeling like they're ingrained in the community, and Kiryu being impressed by the relationship between the two parties, this new scene props up Kiryu as the selfless hero that we already know he is, with Rikia immediately relegated to a visitor in his own town. I get that the devs were trying to add more action to the game, especially early on, but it seems to come at the expense of building up Rikia when it really didn't need to do so. And with this being the end of the demo, I don't know how the rest of the storyline has changed, but I'm pretty sure things will be different.
The hell got into him?
The demo also shows off a few side stories, with all three being altered versions of ones from Yakuza 3. In one of them, you help someone carry two giant ice cream cones through the streets, avoiding obstacles to get the cones to their kids across town. In the original, you're helping a father on vacation with his family, and the obstacles you encounter are just the other pedestrians walking around. In Kiwami 3, you're instead helping a single mother who sprained her ankle trying to walk in heels, and the obstacles are more outlandish, with wrestlers, of the sumo and amateur varieties, training in the middle of the road, ready to knock the ice cream out of your hands. Kiryu's then propositioned to join their family as their new father, and he runs away. The other two side stories in the demo are reworked versions of multi-part side stories from Yakuza 3, but instead of needing to come back multiple times over many chapters, you solve the problems almost instantly. Instead of the guy in Yakuza 3 who you literally need to talk off the edge every time you come back to Ryukyu, you talk to a woman on that same ledge who was scammed by someone, and then another guy who was scammed by the same people gets up on the ledge, followed by the scammers just walking up for you to beat down. The whole thing takes 5 minutes. Staying in Kiwami 3, on the other side of town, you come across a father and daughter arguing about the daughter's desire to move to Tokyo. After the daughter runs off in anger, you have to go back and forth between the two to deliver messages, ending with you beating down a few punks, which all ends with the father already having purchased a plane ticket for his daughter, even though 3 minutes ago he forbade her from going to Tokyo. It's just... The same woman is in Yakuza 3, and she also wants to go to Tokyo. You talk to her once in Ryukyu in Chapter 3, but one of her friends shows up to be the one who doesn't think she'll make it in Tokyo. After that interaction, you'll run into her again a few times in Kamurocho, which helps you feel like you're actually part of her story instead of just a spectator. The demo also shows off some quality of life changes added to the game. The Segway-like Street Surfer, first introduced in Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, is here, but because this game takes place in 2008, it's the Mark Zero prototype version, which is seemingly just two gas-powered lawnmower engines taped to the side of a scooter. Funny enough, when you first meet the inventor of the Street Surfer in Infinite Wealth, he says he's been working on it for over 20 years, meaning its inclusion here technically fits within the canon. Taken directly from Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, you can now change Kiryu's look and outfit at any time, letting you personalize your look for your playthrough. Just wonder if the full game gives you the option to put Kiryu in that same shirt he wore in the original Yakuza 3. Finally, the cell phone functionality has been dramatically expanded, bringing it more in line with the more recent entries in the series. You can now use the camera app to take photos and look through your photo album. A music player has been added so you can run around town listening to your favorite karaoke hits, and, my personal favorite, you can call for a taxi at any time instead of needing to run halfway across town to find one. Something new, though, is the option to customize your phone by adding phone charms that give you small buffs. I added one that made it so I took less damage while in a particular fighting style, one that lets me do more damage in that style, and one that makes it so enemies are unable to stun me. You can also change the wallpaper and antenna of your phone, which offer their own buffs, and you can make your phone pink and cover it with rhinestones. That doesn't add a buff or anything, it just makes your phone look rad as hell.
Excellent!
This may seem like an obvious thing to say,
Obviously!
but outside of the similar story beats, this is a completely different experience. The fighting is faster and more frenetic, giving you different fighting styles to play with. Fast traveling with taxis is actually viable now, and just walking around feels better, since the game isn't constantly trying to show off how many characters it can have on screen at one time. Maybe I'll try it out one day. Oh, yeah, and the demo also has a bit of Dark Ties, where you play as the antagonist from Yakuza 3, Yoshitaka Mine, and you see how he goes from being just a rich dude to rising through the ranks of the Tojo clan, but...
Oh shit, I'm already getting horny as hell thinking about it.
yeah, maybe we talk about that some other time.